Hello, welcome to Microlocity. In this video, we're going to go through this tub of cars. There's probably a few hundred cars in here, I'm guessing. Now, these are cars from my childhood, mixed in with like stuff I find from yard sales randomly that I don't really put in my collection. So there's nothing in here that's like in too great condition, but it's a really neat and nice variety of a whole bunch of diecast, different brands, years. So we'll just kind of go through fairly quick. I'm not sure I'll get through the whole bit in this video. So we'll just kind of go through and one by one. So you got a matchbox. And I don't know the names of all these. Cosmic Blues. I think it's had a different name for the older versions. So here's an old what's it, big rig, a Kenworth matchbox. Grab another matchbox. This is a Sterling. I always like this car. Here we have a Hot Wheel. It's a tow truck, Campbell's Towing. It's called Repo Duty. This is a Maisto. I don't know what that is. It's a Chrysler 1956, it says. Cool looking car. I always like this one too. This is a Tahoe or is it a Suburban? I think it's a Tahoe. 1997 Chevy Tahoe. That's definitely a cool casting. Here's an older Hot Wheels. The Nissan 300ZX. Got opening doors. They still open and function. And what are these called? The gold, not Ultra Hots. It'll come to me later. I don't remember what those are. It's got suspension. I think that's that was from the 80s or so. Here is a Jaguar. So this is an MC toy, which later became Maisto. I have a video on that. I think it was Maisto, Z Toy, MC Toy, and kind of how they're all of the same, one of the same roughly. Here's a 57 Chevy. This is an older one. I had this one since when I was a kid. That is just a really generic truck. Got another one of those tow trucks. Here's a Matchbox Mercedes. Here's a Majorette. This one was kind of in the, was it probably mid 90s? They started really cheaping out on everything. This is an all plastic car. You see how plain the bottom is. It says Majorette 102. Tom Turkey. It's kind of funny. You see the cartoon characters. You got some funny scenes on there. There's the turkey getting up and running away. Funny stuff. Here you got a Matchbox Peterbilt. There's a Hot Wheels Peterbilt. Cement truck. Still functions. Hot Wheels, I think it's a Thunderbird Stalker, if I remember correctly. There's another Stalker. So that's a color change. This is what, a Toyota Corolla. There's just a generic car. I think there's a few of like the same style. Like there's one. I'm not sure what the names of these are. I'm sure somebody knows. Oh, there's another one there. So they all must have came in a set somewhere. See, so that one, the bottom of that says SM, so that's summer. Which is an older brand. So I guess these are all probably summer toys. Here's another Chevy. I think this was another like summer or MC Toy casting, if I remember correctly. Well, it's just that's a newer casting. I think I got this for one of my Halloween videos. This is also newer. It's actually kind of a cool off-road truck. It's just a fantasy. You got the GMC tow truck. I believe I have a couple of these. GMC Wrecker. So this is one of the older ones that has a metal base. So the grill and the big bumper is all metal also. So this is always one I thought was really nice. It's called the Boss Haas Cycles. So that one's not all that old, but pretty cool. You got a Ferrari F40. Missing the back hatch. Here's an old Maisto, like a city bus, called the Neapolitan. I had that one for a long time also. One of my childhood toys. So this is a Suburban, a 2000 Chevy Suburban from Matchbox. It says 2003 Special Edition. Oh, that must be worth big bucks. So here's another fantasy casting. It says 2004. I'm not sure what this is out of, but I probably picked this up at a flea market just because it kind of caught my eye. So this is a newer one, 2016. Is this one of the Olympic sets or something? I don't remember. So here is it's a Porsche. I don't know what kind, but so this is all plastic body on this one. Here's a beat up Matchbox, France, 1999, the World Cup. Pretty cool looking car. That's a Opel Calabria. Pretty cool. Okay. Here we have a Corvette. Hot Wheels. Here we have a Ford Econoline van for Matchbox. Sheriff. It just says Ford panel van. Here we got the ice cream truck. This is the Freiburger's Grill version. These are always cool to collect. There's so many different versions of those now. Here's a garbage truck from, this is Hot Wheels, yeah. Earth Day, April 22nd. See, so there's a mixture of everything in here. Here's kind of a generic Mercedes convertible. That's an old something. So here we have an Indy car. That's pretty cool. This is a road champ. Yeah, Racing Champions. So 1993. It's a 1960 Plymouth. Actually an awesome looking car. Here's a newer Matchbox. I think I got this in one of those what did I do? The advent calendars I did. There's another old car. It's a Hot Wheels school bus. It's a Ford. I think that was part of like the Speed Gleamer series, if I remember correctly. Now here is a dirty Nissan GTR. This one looks like it was left outside. And sometimes I look for this stuff at the flea markets, like it looks weathered and beat up, and I kind of like to use these in my dioramas and stuff, and just like the junkyards. It just looks cool, I think. So here you have a newer Chevy Camaro. Actually nice, really nice looking one. I'm not sure why that's in that bin. Here's just a really generic car. So here we've got a Mazda. Mazda Miata. There's an older Camaro. Got the Aliens decal. Tampos. So what is this? A Jaguar? Aston Martin. That's it. There's just a fantasy car. Here's a cool one. Oh, why is all this cat hair everywhere? There's an old, it's a Ford tree service truck. Missing the bucket. There's an old generic bus. There's another really old Peterbilt from Matchbox. I think this is supposed to be a cement truck. There's the Hummer from one of those series in the 90s. Forget which one that was part of. Here, what is this? That's a Lotus. Actually got some pretty cool graphics on it. Here is a F-150. There's the Matchbox van. I think it opens. Another fantasy car. Beach Patrol. It's another stock car. That one's probably good on the track. There's a Matchbox, Jake and the Neverland Pirates. I think it was a Disney show. It's a cool Chevy van. There's one of those old summer toy ones. There's a fantasy casting. The Barbie camper van. Here's one that was always fast on the tracks. Power piston, I believe. Yeah, power piston. That's a good track car. Here is a match. No, this is the Hot Wheels version. Just a Corvette Grand Sport. Got a cool look to it. Even the kind of dirty and the paint kind of faded. This is a fantasy, I believe. Actually, pretty cool looking car. That was a color changer. You got Fruity Cheerios. There's a Chevy pickup truck. It's actually a pretty big casting. Like, you know, they just hold it up to that stock car. It's kind of chunky. There's the newer fantasy car, good for the track. Here is it's like a F-150 called Bad Mutter. That's a cool casting too. I remember that coming out. So here is, they call it Second Wind. Can't remember the cartoon this is from. Speed Racer, that's it. So here's a cool car. This is, I don't remember, I think I did some research on this, but you can see the bottom, it's a licensed product, 99 Pontiac Firebird, but pretty decent detailing. I probably picked that up at a flea market or something. Here's an Acura. Man, this thing got roached. Looked like the front got dipped in like a candle or something. It's weird. So this is cool. This is a Chrysler prototype, the Chrysler Thunderbolt. There's a couple castings or color variations that they came out with this one. Here's another power piston. This one I had from when it was new, that I played with when I was a kid. So yeah, this one won a bunch of races on the track. So here's one of those flipper cars. So it would go like that, and I think you use it on the racetrack. It would flip over, and now that's the new top. So it's kind of two cars in one. Here's an old Majorette. It was like a money security truck that I painted with my mom's nail polish. One of my early customs. It's a Toyota MR2 Hot Wheel. There's a McDonald's Roadster, 1993. Cadillac Escalade, Hot Wheels. I would assume this is from like 2008-ish. It's a 2007 Cadillac Escalade. That probably came out in around 2008. Here's another one of those flipped cars. That's just a regular fantasy casting. Another fantasy. There's a cool car. Is that a Nova? 60, I can't read that. 63 Nova. There's a Matchbox from the 90s. Got a Mustang, opening hood. This is an older generic casting. It's a Lotus. Remember I had this when I was a kid. I always liked the wheels for some reason. Kind of cool. Got another Mustang. It's at the Shelby GT 500. Man, I might have to make a couple of videos of this. Here's a Chuck E. Cheese van. There's just a good old generic. Another generic. I have a bunch of these. Racing Champions. Copyright 1991. Let's see, there's another one. Dale Jarrett. There's the Hello Kitty Cole Combi. So here's an old, man, I think my cat was sleeping in this box. So here is a Rolls Royce, yeah, Silver Cloud. Whoops. That would have been from I believe the 80s at some point. They came out with this one. Copyright of 86. There's a Matchbox Jeep. Got Pizza Planet. The Claw. Actually, I like the look of that car. It's cool. Kind of reminds me of a Firebird. You got the Volkswagen van. Dodge Challenger. That one's super generic. Lightning McQueen. There's a helicopter from Matchbox. Here's an older, like a generic Indy car. Still got the stickers on it. There's another good track car. Got a Batman skateboard. That's actually from McDonald's. That's wild. Yeah, some of the stuff, I don't know how I got it. So here's a tow truck wrecker from Hot Wheels. I think that's from another one of those series in the 90s, like the Flame Rider series or something. There's an old Cadillac. Big old Eldorado. Shy Guy. There's an older generic, like a race car. Got like Yatming wheels on it. Here's a Majorette Jeep Cherokee. So I painted this with my mom's nail polish also. So I used to have a light bar on top. Forget the name of that one. That's also a good one on the track. It's from the Dark Rider series. Pretty cool. We got the casket. You got the skulls on the front. So here's another one of just, yeah, the Cosmic Blues. There's an old Hot Wheels car, Camaro. Here's one of those little police vehicles they use up in New York City. I wonder how many versions of that casting there is. Seems like something I haven't seen much of. You got a motorcycle, Hot Wheels. You got a El Camino. This is Racing Champions. You got rubber wheels. I'm sure the hood's in that box somewhere. And the bumper. I think it's a Lotus. Actually, look at that paint on that. That's nice looking paint. Green Metaflake. Just got another old looking car. There's a nice one. That's Johnny Lightning. That's a heavy little car. Got a Range Rover. Got a little Volkswagen. Ice cream truck. Yes, the Hot Wheel. So that's a Toyota Tundra. Another old Hot Wheel from one of those series. I can't remember which one that one's from. There, an old Cobra. Generic Lamborghini. A super generic. Got a bald eagle up there. It's cool. In the trees. That's about as generic as you can get. I mean, this weighs nothing. Oops. There's an old, what is that? This is 1982 Buddy L. What's this, the Evil Weevil, I believe? I think that's what that's called. Scorpion. There's an old shell truck from Majorette. I got the back trailer somewhere. It's a generic Indy car, or no, like a fantasy Indy car. So here's another Majorette, the Bird Baron. Kind of see if you can see the graphics. Guy turns into a bird. You got the bald eagle. Try to get the glare off there. Here is a Kraft macaroni and cheese Camaro from Hot Wheels. I think you had to send away for this. Oh, I forget what this car is. I should know it. But that's an old Hot Wheels white wall. Here's an old Majorette. The lights don't work. So the sonic flashers, these batteries would last forever. I had one recently, like last year, which still kind of made a noise because it would make a siren and the lights would come on. And I mean, the thing was 30 some years old. So here's another, that's a Ford 30. I forget what that is. But that's another one of those series from the 90s, like Speed Gleamer or something like that. "24/7." That's actually a cool car. I think that was from one of the mystery series. There's a Matchbox, just a fantasy. Here's an old one that I painted a long time ago. The Peugeot. Nice paint job, huh? Speaking of nice paint jobs, here's an old Matchbox school bus that I painted, and I put some decals from I had a couple model kits. generic Porsche. Here is the old Flintstones mobile. I know they came out with mainline, but I think this was another one you had to send away for. 1994. I have at least one, maybe two of these still in the package. So here's a Hot Wheel. I forget, this was made for a track. I think it's Hot Wheel. Oh, it's Matchbox. Yeah, it was made for a track. Pretty cool. It's a cool looking Indy car. Hot Wheels. There's the Buick Stalker Hot Wheels. I always like that color on this one. Got the like yellow Metaflake paint. That's a heavy car. So this is a generic Hummer. Matchbox. Piece of something. There's a generic. There's an older Hot Wheel. This is from, I'm not sure what that's from. I thought it was Earl, but it's not. It's Woodstock. So that one's pretty old. So here's got a fantasy casting. Here's another fantasy. I like this, had the matte, like the matte blue paint. Just had a cool look to it. And another generic. So we're almost like halfway through this box. I think I'm gonna stop the video there and I'll make a new video so this one doesn't get too long. So hope I see you on the next video. Thank you for watching and see you next time.